Hello everyone again. This is Miriam Kankare from the White Rose Light Ascension program. I hope you're all doing well today. I hope you feel the blessings that are coming to you from the divine every day. We're all practicing that, aren't we? Anyway, I wanted to share something for today. And when I came here, I actually saw this my favorite fountain yet again, and there was a rainbow on it today. And coming out from the victim role or the martyr role in life is not always easy, but it has to be done in order to truly serve. And yesterday I met my sons actually since a very long time, and it made me think about my family karma again in a painful way. When I shared last time about my life in Iraq, I didn't mention that I actually had like 2 previous marriages before, and I had 2 children from those marriages. And my first son, his name is Aku, and he's already 26. And my second son, Fionn, his father is Irish, so he has this like Celtic warrior name, Fionn. And he's now like 20. So I was happy to meet them since a long time. But in one point, my children have had to suffer also from my lifestyle, which has been very much like just going with the flow, let's say. And because I was never putting so much emphasis on earning money. I was always thinking I will survive somehow, I was always prioritizing something what was meaningful for me. And but this situation has 2 sides. Unfortunately, my parents have money, so they have been kind of backing up the holes that I couldn't fill in when it comes to supporting my children financially. But still, I feel like I would like to teach my children also a lesson, in the sense that that it's not just money that makes a person happy. It's not just money, but in the West we have grown to really value the people according to their incomes. And I have heard that, for instance, in India, people are happy there even though they have nothing. And in the West we have everything and we're still unhappy. So there is also always a balance to things. So in one point, I have seen also my own family suffering from emotional traumas and problems that have to do with my father putting a lot of his energy and time into just building the business. And he openly even said, that if you want to be successful in business, you can't put so much energy into your private life and family and stuff like that. But I think he has become like, with time, he has become a little bit softer. He's been really showing a lot of support and yeah, affection to my children. The Kurdish children are a case in itself. They have not been integrated to my parents' life. So I have one totally Finnish child. I have 5 boys, one totally Finnish, second Irish, half Irish, and 3 of my last, like smallest, youngest children, they are Kurdish, half Kurdish. So this is my family karma. You know, like sometimes I think that God really put me in an interesting, role, because even my family members, my children don't interact with each other a lot. Like there are some wounds left in our family when it comes to opening the communication, let's say between the Kurdish children and my second son. But my eldest son, he's quite open-minded, and he visits my children more. And but Fionn also told me yesterday that he has some friends from Africa, and we discussed Kenya, and surprisingly he said, oh, that Kenya is really like a rich country in the African standard, and that he has some Kenyan friends who he really thinks are really intelligent and nice people. And I was like, wow, that, because when Fionn was young, we went a lot, I used to practice Islam at that time, so we went to meet a lot of people from Pakistan, from different countries, like Somalis, and he kind of, and of course my Kurdish relatives and husband, but also he saw the family violence. Like he had to suffer about the challenges we had at home, and that led to a situation that his father didn't accept him even visiting me after some point. And that was one of the reasons also why I ended up divorcing him, because there was physical violence involved. But when it comes to that topic, there is the thing that one has to take into consideration, that in the Muslim culture, the man, he is responsible in one point of the family. So he is responsible for bringing the money and bringing the food, for the family. And this gives him this role of responsibility. And if the family and the wife cannot agree about this man's kind of ideas, this fulfilling of the role of the father becomes difficult. And also, like in the West, we have been kind of grown even to think that the women are more capable of decision making or whatever on their own. But if you think about the traditional society, we have cooperated and survived exactly depending on our ability to cooperate, and even though it's really hard sometimes, and today I feel my relationship is falling apart. I'm really frustrated in my life at the moment, because I'm seeing a different level what is possible, but I feel like sometimes I can't share these things with my partner. So in life we all the time have the kind of the open situation of the possibilities, the challenges, and the balance between those two. And maybe, like one of our biggest challenges would be like to try to accept our situations and try to like how I say, try to like understand that, if we just live our own lives, our own personal dreams, our personal, visions, but we are unable to cooperate with our surroundings, that's also lacking elements of success. We should be able to integrate ourselves also in the real life and not just do videos and, Facebook postings about some perfect life that isn't existing, but in the same time, we should share, our deeper truth and, dare to show our vulnerability and our like challenges. And kind of like, when I have been like participating in like some training programs, one of them is like Tony Robbins, and one of his principles is like, that fake it till you make it. That you should kind of like, just start to feel that something what you really dream about is going to come true, and that's what Anu Grace is also saying, that you should feel, start to feel that abundance is coming on your way. You should feel that, how do you feel in your body when you think about success, when you think about breaking your limits, and to allow yourself to receive. Sometimes, there is this kind of like wounded healer syndrome that people talk about. What does that mean? Like, many times the healers feel that they have to give and give and give and give and never take nothing. And I have been a prime example of this. Like, truly, like for me, asking for money for things has been really, really difficult. I used to do Orasoma color therapy, and I ended up doing so much, for my friends, family, and sometimes I got something and sometimes I did them totally free. But at this point, looking at my role as a parent, in one point it's irresponsible that I'm sharing everything without asking nothing in return. So, and I also feel that in one point I'm not able to share my life experiences unless we have that kind of like, solid relationship and commitment to the growth and to the coming away of the martyrdom, coming away from guilt and, powerlessness syndromes. So actually, in my personal case, I have felt a lot of guilt because when I was with Fion's father, John Cosgrove, we used to do a lot of like energy work, healing work, and we did also some past life regression work. And what happened to me in one of those group healing sessions, which he conducted, was that I went back to Egypt. And it was funny that in this group actually we had so many people who remembered some aspect of Egypt. And we could even recognize each other from the visions that we had, and that period had to do with that time that there was the big power struggles between the different religious groups. And what I saw in that particular the regression was that I saw myself as a black magician, and I saw myself doing the initiation of black magic to become this really like feelingless person who was able to mind control others, in this case like a zombie army that would go and do violence around which I was kind of like, manipulating them to do. So I had a lot of like feelings of guilt for this. Another life that I came to remember was with Fion's father, and so we were like Pharaoh and Pharaoh's wife, and it came from a nickname that I gave him. It was Beige, and I googled the Beige, and later I saw that his wife's name was Enmathap, and that Enmathap was like the Apis, Apis bull, some kind of like cult. So, and I had that feeling that we had been like misusing the poor people's resources in that life, and indulging ourselves in every point, and from that life also I felt that I had karma to pay, that even though my like family is wealthy, that I had to go through a period that I was living on a very modest means, and but at the same time I felt somehow like spiritually free and blessed, like I was not tied to nothing. And I grew really like fond of this idea of appreciating my choice and free choice in life, especially. So that went always before like getting some well-paid job or some other position. So but at the moment I feel like called to start to share my story more. And that's how this White Rose Light Ascension program came to being. So I hope you enjoyed this, and God bless you. Bye.